So, Summer Under the Stars is continuing, and yesterday was Elvis Day, as it was the 40th anniversary of the day in which he died. And I wanted to do this video then, but I was unable to watch all of the Elvis films that I wanted to watch, so I had to do it today. But I wanted to show you the button that I was wearing yesterday. This button, you can see it. Let's get it in the light there. There we go. This button, actually from 1977. It's a memorial button. And I love Elvis a lot, but I have not seen as many of his films as I should have at this point in my life, so it was nice to catch up on some of them. A couple of these were concert films, a couple of them were narratives. I'd already seen This Is Elvis, so I didn't watch that one, but the first one I watched was Elvis on Tour, which is from 1972. It was actually his last film. Made no films in the 5 years after it was released. It follows one of his tours. Let's see which. Well, obviously it's called On Tour. It follows one of his tours. It's a 15-city tour that he did in April of 1972. It follows him on a bus. It shows him as they're setting up. It shows him singing. It has some archival footage of some of his older things. I really enjoyed this film. It uses this interesting multi-screen thing where there's like screaming Elvis fans, Elvis singing, more people, and it goes all over, and you get to see these really interesting mixtures of people reacting in real time to Elvis, like, because in a lot of the other documentaries it's like Elvis and then the reactions, and instead it's like the reactions and Elvis at the same time, and I liked that format. I feel like this would be a really wonderful film to see on the big screen, because you really get that huge like presence of Elvis. Fantastic movie. The next one I watched was 1967's Clambake, which apparently Elvis like hated. Unfortunate, because I thought it was kind of fantastic. It co-stars Shelley Fabares, who was also in Ride the Wild Surf and several other Elvis films, and Bill Bixby. And basically, Elvis plays an oil heir. It's much easier to say heiress. But heir to an oil fortune, and he is stopping at one of his gas stations, and he's trying to run away from home. He doesn't know what to do. He's just tired of like all these women that want him just for his money. He meets this guy who like can't get any women, and decides to switch places with him and go become a water ski instructor who is poor, while the poor guy pretends to be oil baron, and they see how they do with women. And then there's like, he has to do a boat race, and so there's his rival with the boat race, and obviously the rival with the boat race is the one that likes the woman that he likes, and shenanigans definitely ensue. And there's a scene where he sings while standing on a sand dune, and it's really great. Apparently this just got released on Blu-ray, and the guys from Videodrome here in Atlanta did a commentary track, so I feel like I need to rent that so that I can hear that as well, because I really enjoyed this film. I had a lot of fun watching it, and it was just, great escapist entertainment. And I bought Elvis as a singing oil heir who can fix boats and teach people to water ski. Like, I bought that. Okay, next one I watched was, this was not good. This was Kissin' Cousins. It's from 1964, and it co-stars Glenda Farrell as she's an old lady at this point. Basically, Elvis he's in two roles, and he is in the army, and they need to rent some land from his cousin's family to put an anti-bomb missile thing. Basically, it's during the Cold War, and they need the mountain to protect everybody. And but it's owned by these hillbillies, and so he has to go and like try to convince his hillbilly family to let the government rent their land. And they're like, very anti government because they're hillbillies. This movie does not do a lot for the South, for many reasons. It shows everyone as ignorant. All the men as ignorant and stubborn, and it shows all the women as just like promiscuous and dumb. And all of the like, yay, Confederacy stuff in this week in particular, but basically in general, is like does not age well, because you're like, can we not have that anymore? So this was really hard to watch, and I didn't particularly care for any of the songs, so it was like big no from me. I did appreciate Elvis taking on the two roles, and the way they make the two Elvises clear is like one's blonde, but there's a lot of really gross sexism in this one that a lot of his films don't have, and because he tends to be a lot more chivalrous, if you will, but not the gross kind of chivalrous, just nice to a lot of the women. And in this one, like the cousin is just really gross to everybody, and there's a woman Army Corps character, and she gets like everyone's like really sexist towards her because they just wanted a man, and it's like, dude. So I don't know. I did not like this movie. But the next one I watched, I like couldn't tell if I liked it or not. This was Live a Little, Love a Little. It makes no sense. He shows up on the beach. He's a photographer. He meets a woman, maybe named Bernice, who goes by different names whenever she feels like it. And she has a giant Great Dane, and she drugs him, and he sleeps in her house for a couple of days, drugged, and then wakes up and discovers that she has helped him lose his job and his apartment. And then he decides, and I might have missed the key here, but he decides to go get not one job, but two jobs. One at like a nudie magazine, and one at like a conservative advertising agency. And there's Rudy Valley in this, and it's fun. He does not sing though, but if you know about Rudy Valley, you should look him up. His personal life was interesting. Let's put it that way. So this one also had some weird layers of sexism, and sort of felt like it was trying to be I Love You, Alice B. Toklas, but like if Elvis made an I Love You, Alice B. Toklas movie. But it does have a little less conversation in it, and that was fun to see that song come to life. So, and the photographs are very accurate depictions of the way like Playboy really photographed women, and the way that like a lot of fashion ads were at the era. So that was kind of fun to watch. But overall, this movie was all over the place. The dog was fun. Dogs are always good in movies. So, of the three narratives that I watched, the only one I can really say, like, you should check it out is Clambake. These other two were a bit of a mess. Not the best Elvis narratives. The last one I watched was so good. This is Elvis, That's the Way It Is from 1970, and it follows his performances in 1970 in August in Las Vegas. This movie was so much fun. You get to see him rehearsing. You get to see him performing. You get to see people swooning. You get to see celebrities swoon over him. It really captures how charming he was and how much energy he had as a performer. And he's just so cute. He's just so cute in this movie. Cute. And it's crazy that he was already like a legend at this point, and he was 35. Like, I have 4 years, and I'm not going to be a legend in 4 years. So, you know, way to go, Elvis. What have I done since 22? Nothing. Definitely not as much as Elvis has done. What else about this movie? This is jumpsuit Elvis at his finest. Like, Elvis on tour has some of the more crazy Elvis jumpsuit costumes. This one has the iconic white jumpsuit, and it is working. And he dances, and it just showcases his butt. And like, this is the jumpsuit. That's the jumpsuit. It's good. There's good stuff in this. I really loved it. He sings Sweet Caroline at one point, and I swooned a little bit. He sings Elvis songs. Elvis songs, obviously. He sings Beatles songs. It had a perfect ending. I just really loved this. It was a great way to end my like Elvis-a-thon. So, I recommend the documentaries. Every documentary I've ever seen about Elvis, I have enjoyed. Clambake was the only one of the features that I watched this time that I was like, thumbs up to. he's just so charming no matter what, though. Like, I can't imagine not liking Elvis. I just love him so much. So this was my Elvis day, and I've got so many more of his features to watch. I'm gonna get to them at some point, I promise. But meanwhile, check out that Clambake Blu-ray and tell me how my boys at Videodrome are, because I'll have to check that out as well and revisit Clambake. And then baked clams. I don't know. Do they even do clam bakes in Miami? I didn't question that, but I feel like clams are a New England thing. But maybe I just don't know anything about the East Coast. I'm from California. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Elvis. That's all I have to say. I'm just gonna zoom in on this. This is like in. That's the way it is. They like zoom in on his butt a couple times. So let's just pretend that's what's happening here. Yeah.